I mean, there's a couple of big issues with industrial overfishing. One is the fact that there are simply a finite number of fish in the oceans. We're catching species faster than they've have a chance to reproduce. And also the fishing ships that are now out there are like the most ruthless killing machines, the most efficient sort of machines we've ever devised on Earth. So a fishing trawler can go out and can catch 10, 20,000 tons like in a number of days. And that has huge impact not just on the species but also on the environment around it. Where they use bottom trawling, which are these nets that are dragged on the ocean bed. I mean, this literally destroys everything in its path. And the crazy thing is that you might only want a few number of species. You might only trying to catch a few fish, but you're destroying everything else. You might even catch 70 or 80% of what you catch is what you're simply throwing out because it's unwanted or it doesn't have commercial value. So we're dealing with a major overfishing crisis. At the moment, the majority of fish populations that are fished in the world are overfished. In the Mediterranean, even the official European Commission numbers state that 97% of all the fisheries are overexploited. And illegal fishing is a major issue. At the moment, about half of all the fish that is traded through Europe is believed to have illegal origins. So the level of crime in this industry is really, really far-reaching. And illegal fishing, the total catch every year amounts to about 23 billion US dollars. So it's a huge industry. Organized crime is involved, and governments are simply unable to tackle this issue by themselves. Without a doubt, the industrial overfishing is one of the biggest environmental issues we face. Actually fish is the largest food resource in the world. The most people, especially in developing nations, rely on fish as their main sort of protein. But equally, we're destroying the oceans primarily for this enormous demand for cheap fish, especially in Western nations. And it goes even further. I mean, at the moment, about half the fish we catch is fed to other animals. So, actually the pig is the largest marine predator on Earth, followed by the chicken. And, we are actually destroying the oceans simply to gather cheap feed that produces cheap meat, in our factory farms. So that is just something that is incredibly unsustainable and it cannot carry on. And on the flip side as well, I mean, climate change, the biggest mitigator of climate change is the oceans. Plankton actually turns CO2 into oxygen, and the majority of our oxygen comes from the ocean, not from the Amazon or forest. It comes, from the sea. I think the biggest sort of takeaway that we're hoping people sort of take on board is that simply the amount of seafood we consume is something that simply cannot carry on. If you care about the oceans, if you care about what's happening, then really the big thing is to kind of question your own level of seafood consumption. If you want to eat sustainably, it really means you eat as little to no seafood at all. And there are increasing alternatives out there. There is increasing, other ways to get those same proteins, and that is really, something you need to kind of question and start looking into. Inform yourself, learn about the facts, look at our website or go to other organizations, but just be better informed.